everyone, Kurt Whedon for NFC, your nonprofit fundraising channel. I'm here today with our NFC co-host, Tanya Smith-Evans. Hey, Tanya.
Hi, Kurt. Glad to be here.
So, Tanya, today we're going to take a 5-minute look at government grants.
Is there a lot of money out there in government grants that the nonprofit sector should be interested in?
Actually, Tanya, there is. On average, government grants account for a little over 8% of all nonprofit revenues nationwide. But there are actually some nonprofits that regularly get 90% or more of their funding from government grants.
So in addition to grants, Kurt, the government also contracts to nonprofits, right? Can you help us determine, what's the difference between those two things?
Well, first off, it's interesting to note that nonprofits get nearly 3 times more money from government contracts than they do from grants. But still, government grants for sure are an important funding source.
What's the best way for a nonprofit to think through if it's even going to be worth the effort to do so?
So, for a starter, check out a free government site called grants.gov. This is going to show you what grant opportunities are out there to begin with.
So let's assume that a nonprofit finds some government grants out there that are of interest to them. And the organizations decide, okay, let's do an application. What's next?
Well, it's helpful to remember that it takes a lot of time, and in some instances, maybe 100 or more hours, to develop and submit an application. The nonprofit then certainly should consider possibly engaging an experienced government grant writer. But if it wants to go it alone, the nonprofit should take the following steps. First, you need to get registered with SAM, S-A-M, which is the government's System for Award Management. It's not that complicated to do this, Tanya. So you go to sam.gov and you follow the instructions. You're going to need this registration in order to apply or at least be considered.
All right. So let's say the nonprofit goes in, does all the registering it needs to do, gets its number. They're in the system. What's next?
Okay. For federal grant options, go back to grants.gov that we talked about and click on Find Grant Opportunities. Plug in the keywords that are of interest to you under the basic research search bar, right? Follow the instructions again and file for one or more of the grants that you find. Now, if you need help, call the U.S. Federal Contractor Registration Office or USFCR for assistance. They can really be a really helpful resource for you.
So we've covered a lot of ground, Kurt, in these 5 minutes.
We hope this video has been helpful. Hey, you want more nonprofit fundraising ideas? Hit the subscribe icon. Hope to see you all again soon.